I wanna follow where she goes. I think about her and she knows it. She pulls me in enough to keep me guessing. Oh, I've been shaking. I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back.
To begin off this makeup look, I'm starting with the skin, and I'm going in with this gorgeous self-adjusting complexion primer from Urban Decay. It is such a great primer if I haven't raved about it enough. It just blurs the pores, any imperfections, it just dulls them down. It makes you look literally like airbrushed and photoshopped. I absolutely love this, especially for when I feel like sometimes people can have a bit of imperfections in their skin. You know, it just helps create a nice flawless base. I'm placing this all over her skin with a stippling brush. You guys can use your fingers for this, but I'd rather use a brush just to stop transferring bacteria onto our skin and causing breakouts and things like that. A brush helps prevent that, but you guys can feel free to use your fingers if you want to. Next, for foundation, I'm going in with this CoverGirl foundation in the shade Ivory, and I'm placing this all over her skin with a beauty sponge. This is my lightest foundation I use. It is a more sheer to medium coverage. You guys can build it up to be a bit more full coverage if you want to, but it's good for a daytime look as well. And I make sure to bring this down her neck as well so that you don't get that sexy demarcation line when you're placing foundation on your face. You want to blend into the skin and just look like your skin, not like some product sitting on your face. For concealer, I'm going in with this BH Cosmetics full coverage concealer, and holy moly guys, this stuff is really full coverage. It's fantastic. The only thing is I had the wrong shade. I was using the 106 shade and it wasn't quite the same undertone as her skin. Her skin's more of a pinky neutral undertone, whereas this one was more of a yellow based undertone. But otherwise, other than that, was fantastic. So I used this Eclipse blur powder to set the concealer in place and also kind of neutralize the color a little bit more so it wasn't so yellow based, and I found it worked pretty well. So no harm, no foul. It all ended up being okay in the end. And I also placed that Eclipse powder all over her face. It's a really good powder, guys, if you want to blur your pores and things like that. It is a very good blur powder, and it also just helps lock your foundation on your face all day. To bronze up the skin and make it a little bit more warmer, we're going to go in with my NYX Contour and Highlight Kit and place that tan shade over her cheekbones, forehead, jawline and nose to give a bit of colour to the skin, because this is a summertime look, so you want to be nice and tanned and glowy. So I'm just placing a little bit at a time because these shadows are very pigmented, so I just like to place a little bit at a time and build up from there. And because she is quite a light complexion, I didn't want to go too crazy with the bronzing powder because that's when you can start to look a bit muddy and overdone. I wanted to keep it more with quotation marks, natural. And I love bronzing up the nose, guys. I just feel it gives such a natural bronzy look, because we do get quite a lot of sun on the nose area, and just creates a more natural look. I just love how it looks when I place a bit of bronzer on the nose there. And I also bring it down her neck slightly as well. Then I go back in with my beauty blender, and if you guys feel like you have gone a bit too heavy-handed or anything like that, going back in with your beauty sponge or brush, whatever you use to place your foundation on your skin, will help just blend out that product so it looks more natural. To deepen up that contour, I'm going in with this Sculpt powder from the NYX kit and a fan brush, and I'm just wiggling that product right underneath her cheekbones and curving it around her temples to lift the face and create a more natural contour. Then I go back in with my beauty sponge and just blend that product into the skin. Sorry guys for the lighting today. I had the ISO setting up a bit too high. I didn't realize it. So next time I'll make sure that it won't happen. But hopefully you guys can kind of tell what's going on with the product and everything like that. It is a little bit washed out. I'm sorry for that, guys. But hopefully we can look past it. For a bit of a bronzy glowing colour to the skin, I'm going in with this BH Cosmetics Wild and Radiant palette. And these are eyeshadows, but I actually loved using them for skin products because they created such a natural glow to the skin. And you can't quite tell here, but I placed a little bit too much product on the skin. It was like, boom! They're very, very pigmented. And they just created such a gorgeous glow to the skin. It was like, boom, baby. Boom! So I just placed this on all the places that I placed that bronzer down before. Like on the cheekbones, temples, neck, all those kind of places, the nose, just for a bronzy goddessy glow, because like I said, summer looks just call for glowy bronzed skin. And then I go back in with my beauty sponge again to just help that product melt into the skin, and it just, soaks up any excess product that I just feel like, it was a bit too much, maybe just dull it down a little bit. To give a gorgeous highlight and like dewy look to the skin, I'm going in with my highlighting trio from Violet Voss and taking Moon Gleam from the palette and placing this on all the high points of her face. So cheekbones, above her brow, her nose, Cupid's bow, and a dollop on her chin, just to create a nice glow effect. So when she turns her head, it's just like boom, that highlight is just radiating from her skin. I just love gorgeous, like dewy, glowy skin. If you guys feel like there's too much products on the skin, then feel free to take some steps away, add some more steps if you want more glowy skin. Like, you guys do you. For the brows, I'm going in with the soft brown Master Brow Pro palette from Maybelline, and first of all I like to comb up the brows before I fill them in to get them in the right shape. So I like to carve them out a little bit, like place the edge of the angled brush right where the hair starts to grow to create that nice sharp line. And all I'm doing is just creating a little bit of shape to her brows and filling in any sparse areas. I didn't want to do anything too crazy today with the brows, but yeah, that's basically all I did. And she has quite nice full brows already, so I didn't want to take away from that by, creating too much product there. And then all I do is just basically feather that product through the brows, making sure the front part of the brow is lighter than the tail part of the brow. And then I go back in with that spoolie and just kind of buff out any excess product in the brows before going in with a clear brow gel to set those brows in place. For the eyes, I'm going in with this Caramel Melange palette from Zoeva and placing this Universal Delight shadow in the crease area with a fluffy blender brush. And I'm using this shade as a transition shade to help the other eyeshadows blend into something as we go along, placing more shadows on top. Then I'm taking this orangey, like red shade from the Caramel Melange palette and placing this in the crease with a soft crease brush from Zoeva and making sure to place most of the product on the outer corner of the eye, so the outer V, and blending it through the crease into the inner corner. I'm extending that product out towards the tail of the brow to create a more elongated almond shape, and as you can see here, I'm just adding a little bit of product at a time and blending that through the crease and outer V. Then I go back in with a soft, clean blender brush, and I'm just buffing out the edges so that's nice, seamless blend and there's no harsh lines. Then I go back in with that same soft crease brush and some of that orangey shade and just deepening up the crease and outer V because it can get blended away with the blending process. Next I'm going in with this gorgeous shimmery, like pinky champagne-y shade from my Morphe 350 palette. And what I'm doing is I'm spritzing my brush with some finishing spray. Feel free to use Max Fix Plus, some eye drops, whatever you guys want to do. You don't even have to use anything at all. I just find spritzing my brush with a finishing spray makes the shadow look more foiled and metallic and show up a lot more pigmented. So I'm just placing this along her eyelid, creating a cut crease on the inner corner. And I'm bringing this about 2/3 of the way across, just carving out that eyelid. She does have hooded eyes, so I'm bringing it slightly above her natural crease to make the eyes look a bit more bigger, and when she opens her eyes you can still kind of see it. Then I'm going in with this soft brown shade from the Caramel Melange palette and a petite crease brush, and I'm packing this on the outer V of the lid. I'm not bringing it out towards the orange, I'm just keeping it on the lid and blending that into the shimmery shade. Then I'm going in with this gorgeous foiled eyeshadow from Makeup Geek called Whimsical, and I'm placing this over the lid where we place that shimmery champagne shade down, and I'm slightly blending it into the brown using soft little swiping motions. Then I go back in with that petite crease brush and some of that brown shade and just blend where that shimmery shade meets the brown to help them look more, soft and blended rather than having any harsh lines. Next I'm going in with this cool tone brown shade from my 350 palette and a pencil brush. I'm just deepening out the outer V. So placing that brown right over top of that soft brown shade that we placed down before, just deepening it up and taking it through the crease about 1/3 of the way, not too far across, just to deepen up the outer corner. And because I felt like that shade was a bit too cool for this eye look, I wanted to warm it up a little bit with this warmer brown shade from a 350 palette. So I just placed that right over top, and it just created such a beautiful, like, outer corner smoky eye kind of thing. I just really like those two together. And then I go in with this gorgeous, like, kind of metallic-y bronzy shade from my Morphe 35W palette, because I felt like the eye was a bit too pinky, like that shimmer was a bit too pink. I wanted it to be more of a browny, kind of bronzy tone, just ever so slightly. So I'm going in and just placing that right over top, just a little wash of that colour over top of those pinky, like champagne-y shimmery shades. Next I'm going in with the bottom lash line. I'm taking a pencil brush and some of this pinky reddy shade from the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm just whacking that baby right underneath the lash line, just bringing it from outer corner to inner corner, and I'm just using swiping motions, making sure to connect it up to the lid area so that there's not a gap from where the lower lash line starts and the lid begins. Then I go back in with a fluffy brush and just buff out the edges of that pinky shade just to kind of create a more softer, smoky look. Man, I'm getting tongue-tied today. Then I go back in with some of that shade again and just deepen it up a little bit more. For the inner corner lower lash line, I'm going in with this gorgeous shimmery red shade and some of Whimsical, and I'm mixing those two together and spritzing my brush to create more metallic eyeshadow, and I'm just placing that on the inner part of her lash line, so from inner corner to about a third of the way across. For the inner corner highlight, I'm going in with the Moon Gleam highlighter that we used before and placing that on her inner corner. To tightline, I'm using a black eye kohl, and for the waterline, I'm using a nude eye kohl. I feel like the black just makes the lash line look fuller and stand out more, and then the nude will just make the eyes look more open, especially for a daytime kind of sunset look, summer daytime look that we're going for. For mascara, I'm just placing that on her top lashes. I think I'm using the Arganwear black mascara, and then for the bottom lash line, I'm using an unbranded one. The wand helps get to every single lash on the bottom lash line. It's a really good wand, that's why I like to use this mascara. Then I'm going in for lashes, and I'm using these gorgeous, very natural lashes. These are the Captivating lashes from BYS. And that is the eye look finish. I'm really proud of how it turned out. It's a very natural daytime kind of glam look. If you guys want to wear this for summertime, it's very appropriate. For the lips, I'm going in for like a more of a bronzy nude lip today, a brown nude. So first of all, I'm lining her lips with this natural lip liner from Rimmel in the shade 049. And I'm just lining her lips with that. I'm not filling them in. I'm just kind of outlining the shape of them. And then I'm going to fill her lips in with some liquid lipstick from Zoeva. This is the shade Clear Message, and I just went with this look so well. And to finish off this whole makeup look, I'm going to spritz her face with some of that finishing spray from Skindinavia. And that is the finished makeup look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's look and you will try it out. If you do, please tag me in any social medias. I've linked them all down below in the description bar. Otherwise, have an amazing day, enjoy summer, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys!